Hi guys, it's David here from Writing Resources, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to understand punctuation. Specifically, this video is going to focus on how to use commas and apostrophes to improve your writing. Now, although this video has been made with the intention for students who are doing functional skills, level 1, level 2, or any of the entry levels, if you're also doing the GCSE English qualification, then it's very important that you go over these as well. So the first thing we're going to look at is this. So what is punctuation, or why is it important? So punctuation helps to indicate the pauses and the emphasis on certain ideas or thoughts that are discussed in the text. In academic writing, it's very important that we use punctuation as it helps to strengthen arguments that are made in texts. So now what we're going to do, we're going to look at specific areas of punctuation that we need to be aware of and we need to use in our writing. So the first thing we're going to look at today are commas. So what are they, and how do we use them in our writing to make our writing more effective? So commas can be used to break up sentences that have more than one clause and make them easier to read. Now, whenever we refer to a clause in English, we essentially mean one idea. So if a sentence has one clause in it and one idea, then generally speaking, you won't be needing a comma to break it up. But if it has more than one idea or more than one clause, then you'll need a comma just so that it makes sense and it's easier to read. Now, if we have a look at the example, hopefully it will make more sense to us. So it says there, on holiday, I went with my wife, son and daughter. The trip took a long time and we had to go by coach, ferry and car. You can see there that we're using the word and at the end of the list. So after wife, we're going to have a comma, but after son, we're going to have and followed by the word daughter. So we use the word and there to show that we don't need to use a comma in this case, but we're going to use the word and instead when we're talking about the final item in the list. Now we're going to move on and have a look at apostrophes. Apostrophes can be difficult for quite a few people because there are actually two ways that we can use this in our writing. There are two very simple rules that you need to follow to make sure you're using these effectively in your assessments. The first one is that apostrophes are used to show possession. So if we have a look at the example there, it says Sarah's car is silver. To show that this is something that belongs to Sarah, we have used the apostrophe between the H and the S, and that is to indicate a possession when someone actually owns the thing we're talking about. The second rule that we need to be aware of is that apostrophes are used whenever we're going to miss out a letter to abbreviate a word. This is often done in formal writing. It's very rarely do we do it in informal because it seems to be something you would only do if you know someone quite well. We use it in words like can't, wouldn't, won't, anywhere where we're missing out a key letter just to make the word or the expression a little bit shorter, so it's a bit easier to communicate in a formal setting. Now that you've had an understanding of two of the key areas of punctuation, look at the text below and identify where the commas and apostrophes need to go in order to improve the response. If you'd like to pause this now and to go through it in your own time, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm now going to read through the example, and in the next slide we're going to go through some of the answers. So it says, I think that holidays are really important for families. There isn't enough time during the day to always get some quality time. I've been trying to find a holiday for my family this year, however I don't know if I'll find one that we will all like. My favourite holidays are with my children, Tom, Jessica and Sam. My children can get very bored on long journeys, but if I go away this year, I definitely bring a tablet so that they don't get bored. So what you need to do now is have a look over the extracts, think back about how we use apostrophes and how we use commas, and see where we need to insert them into this example so that it makes sense and will get more mark in an assessment. I'm now going to move on and have a look at the answers. So if we have a look now, have a little bit of feedback and see if you come up with these ones. So first of all, I've highlighted where the commas need to go in the passage, and next we're going to just talk about where the apostrophes are going. So again, apostrophes are used whenever we omit a word, so missing out a key letter from that word, or when we are showing possession. So you can see there as I scroll through, there's a few instances where we would have needed to use an apostrophe so that it makes sense. If you want to pause it, if you want to go over it in more detail, you're more than welcome to do so. If you'd like to get more practice with this, it's a good idea to write something yourself and just get used to thinking about omitting some key letters within your words, how you can actually express possession. The more you do this, the easier it'll become, and it'll become second nature so that you can use it in your own exam and assessments. If you need any additional support or help, then new videos will be added every single week. Alternatively, you can leave us a comment below or visit our partner channel, Bookworm Teaching, for more lessons and guidance on all things English. Thanks guys, and best of luck with all of your revision.